What's up, gentlemen, ladies, and all the beautiful babies? It is your boy Johnny Go Vroom out here ripping around on the Begode Race. I will not, however, be talking about the Begode Race a whole lot today. I want to get a couple of more miles. By a couple of more, I mean like a couple hundred miles up underneath my belt on it before I actually try to give you my solid opinions and thoughts on the wheel. I do have some first impressions, however, and I will also let you know that the stock pads did not do well for me. I have some sync pads on the way, of course, and I cannot wait. Well, Johnny, if you're not going to be talking about the Begode Race, the brand newest wheel that you just purchased, then what are you going to be talking about today, Johnny? Well, it's probably got to do with the P6. Oh, no way, Johnny. The P6, it's got 235 volts. It's got 4,200 watt-hour battery. It's fast. It'll go 93 miles an hour, bro. That thing's like $5,000. It's way too much money. Oh, man, but the technology's insane. So are we going to be talking about the P6? Well, yes, Johnny, we're going to be talking about the P6, but I really feel like there's going to be so many people that are talking about all of the performance and power metrics and how fast it's going to go and the price of it and the technologies and stuff. So I thought I'd talk about something a little bit different. But Johnny, bro, I want to buy a new wheel. A new wheel has been announced. I want to go fast. I want to buy it. I want to sell the wheel that I just bought for half off. And I want to use it to fund my wheel addiction. Johnny, please tell me things that'll make me want to buy it. I need more specs. Okay, dude, Johnny, slow down. Like I said, we're going to be talking about the P6. Plenty of people are going to tell you reasons to buy the P6. But we're going to be talking about the P6 in terms of kind of a thing that Begode did, and then in terms of how Inmotion kind of responded. And we'll use a couple of points that were made in some videos that have been recently posted in order to get there. Does that make sense at all? Nah, bruh. Per usual, you adopt this really high road, like you understand stuff, and it's just, I don't know. I'll hang out, Johnny, but I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know. Wow, ye of little faith, Johnny, ye of little faith. Look, just bear with me, have some patience. We're gonna get into it, okay? Essentially, Begode, they've been cannibalizing their wheels, and Inmotion's done something really interesting that's been a complete answer to that, and I think it's really worth talking about, and it's honestly the most exciting thing about everything that I've heard out of anything. Okay, Johnny, I mean, I'm here, I might as well listen, but while you're on your high horse, don't forget to tell the people to like and subscribe and all of that good stuff, you know, because you always like to forget and you're on your high horse, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yes, thank you so much, Johnny. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to the channel, my name's Johnny, if you haven't figured that out, and I ride electric unicycles. I started about 4 years ago. They helped me get past alcoholism. They helped me deal with mental health, kind of selectively, it seems. It got me out of toxic dating cycles, and I figured, yo, if it did so much magic for me, imagine what it could do for other people. And so I started this channel to try to spread the EUC gospel, as Sean in New York says. And if that all sounds good for you guys, just like, you can subscribe, come back to watch the content. I do have a members section where you can like actually subscribe, but like a plus section. And there is a whole lot of content that goes there. So if any of that sounds exciting to you, if any of that sounds interesting, then just follow up. It's no secret that Begode has been cannibalizing their wheels. They've been doing this for a long time. The most recent example, however, is probably the most egregious and quick, fast turnaround that has ever happened, and that's with regard to the Begode Panther. So I'm going to let Nick explain it, and I'll leave the link to the original video in the description.
All right. By now, everyone saw the Panther price drop for the Begode. What the hell? What are they doing to us? They screwed us over. It dropped by like $1,400. It dropped so much that the dealers don't even get it for that price. In Europe, is what I'm hearing. The dealers in Europe don't even get it that price. They pay even higher. So Begode is undercutting everybody. And they screwed over every loyal customer who just bought a Begode, just got screwed over. I mean, what the fuck? I feel like we should get a rebate. It's so disrespectful and such a kick in the teeth to all the loyal customers who went out there and paid full price for this thing, and literally they were available 2 months ago. they shipped out, and now they're dropped by 14, 15. No one's going to buy a new wheel anymore. They screwed themselves. They did the same thing kind of with the ET Max, but this is even sooner. This is insane!
Okay, so you heard it right there from the horse's mouth. Like, that is heartfelt. That's real. I mean, he's a diehard Begode fan, and the people who signed up for the Panther were people who wanted the apex of long distance, power, and performance. Not only did they wait for an extraordinarily long time, having paid a really high price for that wheel, but upon delivery, they then find out that the $4,400 that they paid is now, it doesn't matter. They're selling the wheel for $3,000, and that's $1,400. That's not pennies, man. That's not pennies. You know, I bought the Race because I understood that it was not going to be cannibalized. It was impossible. And if they did cannibalize it for less than what I got it, well, golly gee, guys, I guess then we're at a new sort of playing field as far as the price points. But I didn't think it was fair. And this is where we've come. This is where we've come. All the way to here, where they've been cannibalizing, undercutting. And some people will hear this as a negative in my voice or a negative judgment, but it's not, dude. It's an observation as of right now. And I want you to hear the Inmotion thing before I get too much further along. It's like, it's comically like they heard or saw the video that No Nick No posted.
Priced at just $4,999 US with a 1-year price protection guarantee. For the next 12 months, the P6 will not be discounted. If a price drop ever happens, we'll refund the difference to anyone who purchased earlier. Be among the first to own the P6.
Okay, so there you go. That's it, right there. I mean, when you look at the price that they have suggested, you're like, oh my God, $4,999. And inside of the current EUC climate where you could purchase a wheel and then that wheel could be available in 2, 3 months, 6 months for, a third, a half off, it's crazy, it is insane. And so it's weird that we have these lingering feelings of lost value inside of an EUC. And the only way to plug that hole is by making a statement to the degree, to the end that Inmotion has decided to make a statement. And I think that that is the most powerful thing that I take away from the P6 presentation. That guarantee of value, because that's something that I felt bad about when I was, honestly, I saw the quickness that these Begode wheels were coming out, and I realized that the wheels that I was promoting, people could not have their time in the sun with. It was like they didn't have their new iPhone year. And it was like before the wheel would arrive to the doorstep of the person who might have been inspired by me to purchase or ride a vehicle, it's like their vehicle is old because the company is announcing a new wheel. And you need to protect the value of a $5,000, of a $3,000 investment. It's so wonderful to see that Inmotion has done that. So there's going to be a lot of people that are talking to you about the performance of the P6. They put a lot of effort into it. There's things that I could try to poke holes into as far as the practices that went down in terms of the way that some of the testing was. I could try to poke holes in it. And I probably could. But I genuinely feel like they did their very best. One thing would have been great if they had an array of performance riders that were heavier. Like I said before in another video, 150 pounds, 200 pounds, and 250 pounds. The power output of that gradient of muscle is just incompatible. It's incomparable. So, the way that somebody who is very, very strong at 250 pounds is going to handle a wheel very differently, be able to put a lot more force into it. So that's one of the things. And I saw that they answered the range test with kind of a weight and size chart, and that kind of sort of like approximates the idea of showing us the gradient of the way that weight impacts the wheel and its performance. I'm not going to, however, try to pick holes in what it is that they've done, because they have set standards. They have went back to the drawing board. They created an ecosystem. They developed an entire fleet of new wheels while people scoffed at them. laughed at them for not developing any performance wheels. They thought Inmotion was dead. Meanwhile, Inmotion was figuring out ways to get new riders involved, holding massive events that were focused on trying to get as many people onto an EUC as possible. They were doing this methodically for a very long time. You know, they worked making the E20, which people laughed at, but got so many people riding electronic unicycles. They made the V6, which again, people don't appreciate the speed, but they made an EUC that is complete product, that is a nice finished product that beginners could enjoy. And they spent the better part of a couple of years literally working on just this sector, trying to build into something. And so now they have the P6, which is the epitome of performance in every single facet. Not only did they give you numbers that were higher, they gave you technology that was updated, setting standards across the board. And if you do not believe that that is worth the asking price, you're sorely mistaken. If you look at what the previous top dollar wheel was, and that was the Begode Panther. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, the complexity and the at-a-glance technologies that you see on the P6 when compared to the Panther, it's just not even a comparison. One of them seems kind of archaic and the other one seems from the future. That's just being real, you know? So honestly, the price that it is now, the price that the Panther is now, is what the Panther should have been to begin with. It wasn't presenting all that value. And that's just the way that I feel about it. When you look at what the P6 is presenting for value versus what the Panther presented for value, like long range, go fast versus a slew of quality of life upgrades that genuinely add up to a complete package that is more of a transport, an automotive grade transportation device, fully complete. A luxury one at that. The next thing that I thought was dope was the cooling tech that they used on the controller. I mean, just little things like that. Details, attention to detail. That's the stuff that I thought was super duper awesome. And, you know, when you add all of the little tiny details that they put together up into a single package, yeah, man, you do get the value. It is, you know, it's worth it, that $49.99. And when you understand that they are holding this value for you, they are aggressively trying to hold this value inside of the EUC space for you. And if the value ever breaks, they're going to refund the money difference to you. Guys, that's huge. That is respect. When you go back and you listen to the way that Nick's voice was, to the feelings that Nick had about his Panther, when you see that, you realize that it's more about respecting the consumer. And when you take a step back and you're like, okay, this is a company in 2025 that wants to respect me? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Okay. Johnny, bro, what are you talking about, man? Like, they're trying to get your money. All they want to do is get your money. They've tried to make this gimmick, bro, the 93 mile per hour. It's running super fast. Nobody's even touched the 93 miles per hour. So what are you talking about? They respect people. They're trying to manipulate people, bro. You're full of it. Wow. Okay, dude, Johnny, I understand it. I get where you're coming from. The wheel is expensive. But let's just take a step back, and I can give you a couple of examples to prove my point. Can we do that? Oh, Johnny, I suppose so. Whatever. Go. Speed inside of an EUC is one of the value components. That's one of the things that people wrap value around. So it's like a 30 mile an hour EUC is going to be less valuable than a 40 mile an hour EUC, is going to be less valuable than a 50 mile an hour EUC. Would you agree, Johnny? Can we at least get on the same page? Yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, like if you 30 mile an hour EUC, I'm not paying nothing for it, bro. You couldn't pay me to take it from you. 50, that's fun. 40, I mean, okay, whatever. But yeah, for sure. Okay, so if we both agree on that, then we have to agree that for no additional money, Inmotion gave everybody that purchased a V14 50S 10 additional miles an hour. I mean, it was like 7, but it turned it from basically a 40 mile an hour EUC to a 50 mile an hour EUC. Would you not agree that that added value to the wheel in some way? I mean, yeah, but like, it's value it should have had to begin with. Okay, look, I can see it's a tough crowd, but you can at least see what I'm saying to a degree. And that's all that I needed you to be able to do. And they've proven it. So with the V14, okay, and then with the P6, they have done things to ensure value, to show you as a consumer that they respect you and they're not trying to price gouge you and leech every little advancement inside of their ecosystem out of you. Which, guys, not everybody operates that way. So I think it's safe to say that the value proposition that the P6 presents is solid, and they're gonna make sure that you have your iPhone year. And when you're purchasing something that's that expensive, you really want to have your iPhone year. You want to feel good about it. You want to be the cockswalk. You want to walk around town, glide around town feeling like $1 million, and you should. You really should. So, big up Inmotion. Atta-way. Begode's really upset some people. I don't know if they can make it right for those people. If they can, what do you think it would take for Begode to make it right with everybody? I mean, because right now, there's a lot of people that are upset. If you stuck around this far, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you even if you didn't stick around this far, but I didn't get to say it. So, if you subscribe to the channel, you guys are awesome. You rock. You could be doing so many other things, but you choose to entertain my little silly ass, and I can't thank you enough. To the people that subscribe to my Members Plus section, it's pretty awesome to have such an amazing, tight-knit community. Until next time, guys, ride safe, ride strong, and we'll talk soon. Peace.